Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homeridge Studio. Today I have 6 shabby chic crafts to share with you, so let's waste no time and jump right into the video. This is the first piece and it is a thrifted birdhouse. So I cut up a napkin into 6 pieces and I'm going to Mod Podge them onto the roof of these 3 birdhouses that are together. I painted it in a white chalk paint and then I distressed it in black. And these birdhouses were $2.99 at the thrift store. I bought them a few years ago and I painted them a few years ago. So now I'm just going to finish one of them. I have this water pen and I'm just going around the edge here because I don't want that straight edge. I have this little piece from the Dollar Tree. It's like a Cricut tool and I'm just pulling the wet edges off of that. And then now I take in a starter strip of Mod Podge onto the roof and I place my little napkin piece down there and very carefully I press it down with the Mod Podge on top. And now I pick up the napkin and I applied some more Mod Podge and then pushed it back down and applied Mod Podge on top of that, pushing out all of the wrinkles and the bubbles. And what I forgot to do and what I forgot to tell you is before you Mod Podge a napkin onto something, spritz it with water a couple times and it will relax all the fibers. It's much easier to Mod Podge like that. So I put a piece on all of the roof angles and now I'm painting with celery chalk paint by Waverly. I'm painting all the edges of the roof line here, the sides and the back and the front, and this is what it looks like. And now I have this pink paint. It is called Princess Pink. It's by Apple Barrel and it is a multi-surface acrylic and it's quick drying. I just like the color and it was in my stash. That's why I chose it. And I'm going to paint all 3 of these perches, or I think there's 4 because on the side there's like 2 birdhouses like stacked up on the side. You'll see that later. And after I'm done doing all that, I just take some of this lacy ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I cut 2 pieces off. I'm going to glue them on just the top of this one birdhouse. And now I have some moss. I rolled it up and I glued it inside that little picket fence. And I had this in my stash. They're like plastic flowers, but there's Lily of the Valley in there and I love Lily of the Valley. So I just clipped that off there and I'm gluing it down in there, and then I'm also going to put a little pink flower on there also as well. And here's how it turned out. And the candle holder on the bottom underneath that is from the Dollar Tree too. I just distressed that like a few years ago and I used it on something else and I just plopped this right on top of that and I think it turned out so beautiful. Okay, here is number 2, 3, and 4, and I kind of do all these together. Now I'm going to make a little flower arrangement, and here's what I have. These are from Michael's. I had them 40% off of $7.99. They're nice filler flowers. I have these peonies from the Dollar Tree. I have 2 bunches of those that I use. And there's that napkin. I use the same napkin for all of the projects here. I have a bucket from the Dollar Tree. I have some of that lace. It's from Temu. I got it a few years ago in Mod Podge. And this came in a package. We got some supplements or something in the mail, and I kept it. I'm like, ha, free floral foam. So I threw that in my stash, and as my husband's rolling his eyes, he's like, do you save everything? And I say, yes, I do. So anyway, the napkins usually come in 2 or 3 ply, and which means 2 or 3 pieces. This was a 3 ply, and I pulled them all apart and kept obviously the top one here. And I determined which part of the flower I was going to put on my bucket. And here's that water pen up close here. And I'm just going around the edges again. And if I didn't tell you, I know you can get the water pens from the Dollar Tree if your Dollar Tree has them. Mine were from Ross. I got them a year ago or something. So if you put too much water on that, you can just take your blow dryer, obviously, and dry it and then start all over again. And so I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to Mod Podge this right onto the pail or the bucket here. And just do a little teeny bit at a time. Now I'm going to let that dry, and we're going to work on these little candles. These are little plastic votives that have the little battery in them. They're from the Dollar Tree. I believe they come in a 2-pack. And so they are plastic, so I'm going to Mod Podge on top of those too. And I'm just measuring the paper and trimming it off. And then I just put a little bit of Mod Podge to start this candle here and put the paper on it. And then Mod Podge that paper right down, pushing out all those creases and bubbles. And then working my way down, same thing. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. I actually made 2 of them with 2 different flowers on them. And this wasn't quite dry, this bucket, and there were a couple of creases that formed in there. So just before it's still a little tacky, I put the plastic wrap on the bucket and on these little votives as well, and just kind of pushed and pressed out all of the creases and the bubbles, and it worked out really well. And now I am just roughing this up a little bit. Just the edges, the top and the bottom, and also the handle as well. I just wanted to distress it a little bit. And then just brush that off so there's no little fuzzies or particles everywhere. And then now I don't like how shiny this bucket is, so I put a whole layer of Mod Podge all over the top of it. But it's got to be completely dry before you do that. And now we're going to try a different method on this candle. And this votive is that waxy candle from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to apply a napkin onto this in a different way. And I don't know why I did this way. I don't think it really would have mattered, but, you know, applied the water to it. I guess I just didn't want a straight line. But you don't really see it because I'm going to do the blow dryer method to this. Now, if you do this with a blow dryer, or if you do what I'm going to do next with the hot iron or the heat press, take the battery out. Do not get the battery hot. I don't think it's probably not very good to heat up the battery. So I'm just taking my blow dryer, and basically what it does is it melts the wax on this candle. I'm getting my plastic wrap here. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to work with this. You have to really watch it because it might melt it too much, or you might not melt it enough. So it's a little fussy to work with, and I ended up taking my little heat press. I've done the heat press method before, and I probably like the heat press method, but like I said, remove the battery before you do any of this. And there were some, I don't know, wrinkles in there, and then the napkin had a wrinkle in it, and I just could not iron that out. So I would just Mod Podge on top of that. You can use a real candle too. Anyway, a big thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you for your support, your likes, your shares, and your amazing comments. And if you're not a subscriber yet, join my Homebridge Studio family. Just tap that subscribe button, tap the bell notification, because it is totally free, and every time I post a video, you'll get a notification. So if you like Dollar Tree crafts, home decor, thrift flips, and budget-friendly decor, and so much more, you'll want to subscribe, and it helps me out tremendously, and I thank you. Okay, so back to this bucket. I just cut out that foam and put it down in the bottom of that. I didn't even have to hot glue it because it just fit in real snugly. And snugly, is that a word? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Anyway, it fit down there really well. And I am now just going to put 2 bunches of peonies in there, and then when I'm done with that, I'm just going to take these little pieces, and these are really nice filler pieces. And I'm just going to put, I don't know, 4 or 5 in there. Wherever I see a hole, I just kind of pop one in there. And I love this piece. And now, and this is optional, I just wanted to make it a little bit more frilly, and so I took some of this lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just making a bow. I'm not sure if I like this. I kind of wanted the look. I probably should have put it on the handle, but the handle is now in the back. So if you make something like this, if you want the handle in the front, before you put your flowers in, put the handle where you want it, I guess is what I'm saying. So, and this turned out so beautiful. I love this. It just screams spring to me, and I'm so excited for spring because we're in the dead of winter in Michigan, and it is snowy and it is cold. And here's that candle, and you can see a couple creases in it, just because the wax melts down, and I don't know. There's really, in my opinion, there's really no control over that. But from a distance, you can't really tell. If you're not going to give this away or sell it, it turned out very beautiful. It complements everything that I'm making here today. So for number 5, I have this cross. It is from the Dollar Tree, and I took my blow dryer to it because I thought it was glued on that bow, but it wasn't. It was nailed in, so I just pulled it off, and I took another napkin and some Mod Podge. I got that wet, that napkin, and I'm just going to Mod Podge this right on the middle of the cross. And you really can't see that hole through the napkin. Now I'm taking, after it's dry, I'm just taking my little X-Acto blade and then my finger sander, and I'm sanding it down. And I loved how the outline of the cross was gray, so I left it there. I didn't paint it. And now that little pick that I used earlier, I'm just picking off a couple little florals, and then I have a teeny little bit of moss in there that I threw up there in the middle. And yep, this is what it looks like. And last but not least, number 6. This is kind of like a little jewelry holder. And this is from the Dollar Tree. I think it's just a little heart candle holder or something. And I have a gold pen, paint pen from the Dollar Tree, and some ribbon. This is really easy too. I just cut out a floral and did my little water pen trick. And then I just Mod Podged the whole thing on here. And then I pressed out the wrinkles with some plastic wrap. And then I tried to get my little heat press in there. I got it in there for most of it. This is my preferred way. It's like, turns out flawless almost 99% of the time. And then I just tied a little pink bow around it. Now I'm going to go around the edges with this gold pen. And I'm going to outline the heart as well. And that's what it looks like. And you could put jewelry in here. You could put it by your kitchen sink. You can put your ring on it if you take your ring off to cook or clean. And yeah, I think this is so pretty. You can put it in a bathroom with a little soap on it, but you have to seal it with the Mod Podge, particularly probably the dishwasher Mod Podge. And here are all the pieces and then some. And if you see some pieces that I didn't make today, that's because I've made them in a previous video, and I'm just kind of showing you guys, especially if you are newer here. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I have made. And all of these pieces were made in January, and now my newer pieces in February. And I have one more video coming out, and then we're going to put all the romantic Valentine's Day stuff away, and we're going to head really more into spring, even though I think that you can leave a lot of these pieces out all year long. I try to do that, but I also make some Valentine's Day pieces too. And that's all I have for you today, but you know I will be back real soon, and until then, have a blessed week. Bye.